Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back to Sisters with Superpowers. I am Rashad Milligan. We are joined here by a very special guest today. We are joined here by someone who owns a business. If you own a business, and as Derek enters the room, if you own a business, let me hear you. Just put one in the chat. Just comment one down below. If you own a business, comment one down below. We have Miss Melissa Chanel. Excuse me, I was about to slip up there.
You got it right.
Melissa Chanel LLC, the talent management agency that's revolutionizing and refining the creative management space, primarily for Black artists. My first question for Miss Melissa is, how are you doing today?
I am doing good today. I had to wake up this morning and go like, what day is it? But it's Friday, which means absolutely nothing in this industry, but it's still good to know that the week is wrapping and it's been done.
No. I definitely hear that. I definitely hear that. And just how is your kind of Women's History Month been going in March? As you said, like you lost track of the days or whatever in the industry, but just how is March going for you? Have you had the time to kind of, this Women's History Month, we're coming off the heels of Black History Month, now it's Women's History Month. Let me kind of reflect on kind of the time we're in right now.
No, it's a great time to reflect just on all of the dynamic things that women are doing, not only across history, but presently. And I just always love this time of year because you get to see so many women spotlighted and learn so many women's stories. And it's really inspiring.
Right. I definitely agree with that and see that and stuff. And it's good that you've taken that time out to, woosah. Look and look at this, smell the roses, as some people say. But my first question, going back to the top of things and stuff, how did you enter the world of talent management?
I have always had a love for music, and I actually started my corporate career with a telecommunications company right after college. And I never thought that my love of music would collide with career. But probably about 5 years ago now, I really started thinking about how can I want to do that every day. Like I want to be surrounded by the culture every day. I have so many creative ideas that I want to embark on. And I actually met Stephanie Jester, who's the CFO of Free Bands, which is Future's label. And I had an opportunity to meet her and build beautiful relationship with her. She became one of my mentors. And one day I just told her, I said, you know what? I think you should hire me. I think you should make me your administrative assistant. I promise you, hands down, I'll be the most overqualified administrative assistant you'll ever have. And at that time, you have to understand, I'd done 10 years in corporate. I was second level management. I was on the route to director level. And I really was going to be the most overqualified administrative assistant that she would ever have. And she hired me and she really had faith in me. She allowed me to sit next to her and learn the business. And that was my intro. And I got an opportunity to work with a lot of the developing talent at Free Bands. And so it was a crash course in all things hip hop, and it was amazing.
Free band, but my follow-up to that is, what is the importance of mentorship?
Oh man, I mean, when I decided to take that leap from corporate and go into the entertainment industry, one of the things that I said is, I'm going to treat this like a master's program. And I said that without having any professors, right? Like, I didn't have a course curriculum or anything. I just said, I'm going to treat this like a master's. That's how I'm going to dedicate myself to it. But being able to find those mentors and immediately have that mentor in Stephanie Jester, it was amazing because you need people to teach you. It's always one thing with any job where you read the job description online and it says one thing, and then you sit in the seat once you have the job and you're like, oh heck, how do I do that? And so having mentors that you can go to and say, hey, and just being a soundboard and saying, hey, this is what I think. Does this make sense? And being able to lean on them and their knowledge and their experience. I mean, it's invaluable.
Right. So those were your days under, having well, leaning heavily, like you never get rid of your mentor. You never like, thank you so much, have a good day. But you know, in those early days of kind of earlier days, if you will, of having a mentor, especially making that transition into the entertainment industry, working with free bands and stuff for a while, now making that transition over to your own brand, Melissa Chanel, you really emphasize the importance of Black artistry, particularly with the phrase art over antics. Uh, art over antics. How would you kind of expound on that if someone was like, what does that mean?
Yeah, like I love I love our culture. I love what we see in music. There are so many ways to sell art and sell music and expose it to listeners. And one of the ways that we've seen that develop over the years is through things outside of the art, right? So, and these are not bad things, right? But people leverage marketing around TikTok and reels, and you have singers, they have to act, and they have to do all of these things, or the dramatics that they bring to stage. And I always kind of consider that the antics. And it's beautiful for many artists, right? But the artists that I love to work with is art first. And it's about making things that can last generationally. And those are the type of artists and those are the type of creatives that I like to partner myself in my business with. And so for me, it's always, do you believe in the art first? If I go into a room and the artist or the creative is like, they don't want me to hear the music first. They just want me to know how they're gonna sell it. I'm like, that's the antics, and I don't want to hear the antics first. And it takes it sometimes, but I always want to lead with the art because that's what really matters, and that's what lasts for years and years and years.
Who do you think are some of the best artists out right now today?
I have a wide range of things that I like. I often I often find myself listening to like the old school 90s and 2000s music. I would be crazy if I didn't say that one of the best singer-songwriters of our time is SZA, because clearly Team SZA, right? But there are so many greats right now, and I'm really kind of just eager and watching as people's careers develop and finding who it is that I love.
Okay. So pretty much art over antics is fill in the blank, you know, whoever makes quality music over someone like a don't want to name names,
Like
but
a
I think we all know one particular artist who had a court case a couple of years ago, went did some time, came out and made songs about everybody poking fun at him about what he was doing and stuff. Antics of getting money. Go
antics.
ahead, go
Yeah,
ahead.
definitely.
Right. And moving on now. Did you have to make any trade-offs while launching your business? Or were there any trade-offs involved?
I mean, there are always trade-offs when you're chasing a goal, right? There are always sacrifices. Not only am I a business owner and a woman, but I'm also divorced and I'm a single mom. So I when I first started with free bands and I was learning the business, I had a great sacrifice of time. So I was working 8 to 5 in the office, learning the business side of things, and then I was going home and momming. And then at night, once my children went to sleep around 10 o'clock, I was headed to the studio. And I was in the studio from 10 to 2, kind of sitting, listening to the music, learning, watching the creative process and seeing how people create and what they need and what's best to support them in that creating. And then I would go home and I wake up and I would start my day again at 6. And I did that for a very long time. And there are many other sacrifices that I made. Um, I live in LA now. I'm from Memphis. Like you can catch the accent. I'm not an LA girl, and I don't have a wide personal support system here, but it made sense for my business to be here. So I made the sacrifice for my business, and we love it, right? My kids surf now, and I'm getting accustomed to just being in LA, but there are always sacrifices that have to be made.
Right. Now, and with that Memphis kind of culture, like how did Memphis shape you? You know, I know it's such a unique thing over there. Like I always, like a side note, a random thing I wanted to pick up was Memphis juking. Like I want to learn how to do the little
You want
foot
to be
thing. Like
like
I want to
Deuce
like
Deuce.
how did Memphis shape you as a person?
Man, like it's so funny. I have this conversation with people all the time, and when a lot of outsiders think about Memphis, they think about Yo Gotti, and they think about Moneybagg Yo, and they think about Project Pat and 3 6 Mafia. But the culture of Memphis in music is so broad. You know, you think about BB King and Isaac Hayes and all of these blues singers and jazz singers and gospel is so rich in music culture and music history, even rock and roll with Elvis. And so just being there and being able to be a sponge, being able to walk Bill Street and hear the live music, all those things were really, really impactful in the way I hear things and in what I like and in what I love. Like I love cross genre music. I also support an artist, thank God for Cody, who recently did an interview with Rolling Out, and he is an amazing artist that's also from Memphis. And the project that he's getting ready to put out is very cross genre, and I think it really speaks to Memphis and Memphis sounds and what I love most about being from Memphis.
Right. Now, apologies. I was just making sure that there weren't any other, messages or anything that were pertaining to this. I wanted to let you know that I was paying attention to everything. Moving on with just your personal journey as an entrepreneur. What are some of the challenges that you faced in this kind of, the hills and valleys and stuff in this journey?
You know, there's no roadmap per se to entrepreneurship, and you're always figuring it out. I always tell people all the time, like when it comes to being, the thing that I loved about corporate is that the map was made for you. You knew that first I'm an associate, then I'm a manager, then I'm a director, then maybe I'm a vice president and CEO. You know, there was a road that was made for you. And there was also kind of a curriculum and a guidance and extra support and places and resources that you could go inside these larger companies to learn the skills that you needed to kind of go to the next level. In entrepreneurship, there is none of that, right? There's like, hey, you want to start a business, and you just like you're figuring it out every day, and you're figuring out what you don't know and what you need to learn. And then once you figure out what you don't know, you have to figure out where to go to learn it. And so that is the most challenging thing for me, but it's also the most inspiring thing, that there is no roadmap. This can become whatever I want it to be. And it's exciting to watch it grow and change and evolve.
Right. Now, kind of in that journey and stuff, have you had trouble maybe on the ground level or even today accessing the capital you needed to make a key investments?
No, absolutely. You know, it's hard, especially being a service business and not a product-based business, to tell the story of what this business is and why it's profitable and why you should invest in a business like this. And there are several things a business needs to grow and expand. For a very long time, I was a one-woman show. But as I get more clients and my clients grow and their schedules are hectic, I have to have a bigger, the business has to grow to support them. Well, the money doesn't initially grow as fast as the help that you need. So it's always interesting figuring out ways to expand a business without capital investments.
Right. No, for sure. I mean, that's the basis of it all. You need money to make money.
Right.
That's the basis of it all. But I guess, what is the other biggest piece of advice that you would offer someone who's Black and is looking to start their own business in 2022?
I would tell them, if you're passionate about it, if you love it, like get your feet wet, right? Like I was reading something earlier today that was Bible based, and it was talking about as people were walking towards the Red Sea and they were hoping that it would part, they put their feet in the water first. Like the Red Sea did just open up in front of them, right? And they immediately step on the dry land. They actually kind of waded in the water and they made that jump of faith into it before that sea parted. And you have to have enough faith and you have to have enough confidence in yourself and what you do to just take that initial step. So I would just encourage them to take the step because people want what you have.
No, 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 for sure, for sure. And if I'm not mistaken, you're a part of the famous Amos Ingredients for Success Entrepreneurs Initiative, correct?
I am. I
Yeah,
am.
and right. So with that, how do you think you'll plan on using the grant and the mentorship resources from Famous Amos Ingredients for Success Entrepreneurs Initiative?
One of the things that I love, love, love about this grant is just what we were talking about, mentorships, soundboards, and having the MBCC involved. It gives me an opportunity not to rush and say, and not to go into it blind about what I want to do with this money, but I get to sit down with the soundboard. I get to sit down with new mentors, new coaches, and really build out a plan. I know the things that I want to do. I want to expand, but what does that look like? And how can I best use this money to do that? I don't have to rely on just myself, right? I get to sit down with a full soundboard, a full enlistment of coaches and mentors and really build out a plan. And I'm super grateful and super excited about what that looks like.
Right. And where did you hear about this program?
I actually had a friend send it to me. So you know what? Like, shout out to your friends who believe in you and who believe in your business. Because one of my friends sent it to me and said, "Hey, girl, I think you should apply to this." And I was like, "I think I should." And I mean, I owe her, right? Like, I'm taking her to dinner because I'm extremely grateful that she thought of me and sent it my way.
Right, Melissa. Now we're running out of time at this point, but one of the kind of personal questions I did have. Hmm, how is it, I guess, behind the curtain, working, kind of closely with someone like with the stature of Future? How is it, like for people who don't, because all they know is just the music in the club, like, and you've heard kind of stories here and there about him, but you working up close and personal with him for a number of years, how is that?
Well, I really, when I was with free bands, I worked with the developing artists. So I got a chance to be around Future and hear some of his mentorship, but I didn't work as closely with him. I did get an opportunity to go on tour with him and Meek Mill and support the up and coming artists. And it's amazing. We hear the music, we see the success, but we often don't realize how dedicated these artists are to their craft. We have no idea or understanding of the hours and the hours and the hours that they put in creating these hits. And and it's amazing to me the multitude of music that is created to give us the albums that we hear. And so being able to see um, even close up but from afar his work ethic was it was amazing to watch. And it really spoke to what I did with the what I looked in developing artists, because I always looked at him and went, "Oh my God, look at that work ethic." And then I looked at my developing artist and was like, "Can you match it?" Because if you can't match it, I'm trying to match that. And if you can't do it too, then this may not be the best fit for us. So that's something that I look at my clients too, who has the work ethic, because it's not just about talent. Greatness is definitely not just about talent.
And even beyond that of just the work ethic and and the clients that you work with, but in yourself and how you run your business, did watching those type of artists, did that inspire you on your personal journey and kind of your ambition and stuff like that?
No, absolutely, because I'm so competitive. So I'm like, oh my goodness, if that person can work like that, I can work like that too. I can do those hours too. Now I may find myself asleep in the studio with my laptop trying, but but it's just the thing of seeing somebody work that hard and being in an environment where artists are working that hard and you're supporting them. I always tell my clients, like, you give 110, I'm gonna give 120. Like, we're gonna go tit for tat on what we pour into this because the people will see it. And so it's inspiring.
All right, Melissa. So we appreciate your time so much, Melissa Chanel of Los Angeles now, formerly of Memphis of the Melissa Chanel talent agency and everything like that, of the talent management services that she brings. Best of luck to her under the Famous Amos Ingredients for Success Entrepreneurs Initiative. Until next time, I'm Rashad Milligan, Sisters with Superpowers. You all take care of yourselves.